move away from the dust and traffic of modern Samarkand and enter a narrow, shaded corridor defined entirely by vibrant blue tile work. This is the Shah-e-Zinda. In English, the name translates to the living king. The name refers to the 7th century legend of Qusam ibn Abbas, a cousin of the Prophet Muhammad. After being beheaded on this site, he is said to have picked up his head and walked into a well, where he remains today in a state of eternal life. This graph of architectural density shows how that legend exerted a powerful spiritual pull. An initial 11th century shrine triggered a chain reaction of construction, peaking with a massive 15th century building boom that packed the hillside around the original well. Shah-e-Zinda grew as an organic timeline, where centuries of history radiated outward from that single sacred seed. To navigate this history, begin at the base of the hill, standing before the grand entrance gate commissioned by astronomer King Ulugh in the 15th century. This diagram shows the site's spatial logic, a physical climb up a hillside separated into 3 tiers. Local tradition requires silently counting these stairs. Matching your count up and down signifies a pure heart. The effort of the climb and the focus of the count slow the visitor down. This turns a casual walk into a deliberate journey, preparing you to study what is essentially an open-air textbook of Central Asian design. Looking up from the lower tiers, the earliest mausoleums dominate the hillside with heavy, mature architectural proportions. This diagram shows the mechanics of the lower tier's prominent feature, the double-shell dome. As seen in Qazi-Zadeh Rumi's tomb, an inner dome seals the chamber, while a distinct outer shell is built high above to create a towering silhouette. Higher up the slope, you enter a dense middle elevation. This served as a competitive burial hub for the Timurid Empire's military leaders and elite women. This comparison illustrates the rivalry between neighboring tombs. On the left, Shadi Mulk Aga features highly textured tiles creating intricate, fabric-like patterns. By contrast, Sharon Bika Aga uses quiet gray-blue tones and dense calligraphy for a reserved presence. In this metal layer, elite figures used radical aesthetic shifts to distinguish themselves, placing their unique individual identities directly on the edge of the sacred path. Near these royal tombs sit anonymous structures. While the identities of those buried inside are lost, the craftsmanship on these walls is arguably the most complex in the region. These facades became a silent proving ground. Master craftsmen from across the empire used these anonymous surfaces to demonstrate technical superiority over their peers. This guide identifies the specific techniques found on these walls: Bonai, the patterns formed by glazed bricks; Mukarnas, the honeycomb vaulting inside the arches; and Giri, the complex interwoven geometric stars. This shadow model illustrates how sunlight interacts with these textures. The deep three-dimensional relief of these tiles catches the oblique light of the morning and evening, creating high-contrast shadows that the flat midday sun would otherwise wash out. To understand Shah-e-Zinda, you cannot look at these walls as flat surfaces. They are precision-engineered light catchers, where cast shadow is just as vital as the physical clay. Ascending to the final upper tier, the physical scale of the archways shrinks, and the acoustics of the complex become noticeably hushed. This cross-section highlights a paradox of the site. By climbing to the highest physical point on the hill, you are actually stepping back in time onto the oldest 11th century layers of the complex. You enter the final sanctuary of Qusam ibn Abbas. The vibrant blue tiles of the exterior are gone, replaced by low light and stark, undecorated white walls. The focus of this dark chamber is a pair of meticulously carved wooden doors. Dating to the Timurid era, they guard the saint's resting place. The heart of this colorful, competitive complex is defined by material modesty. This spiritual destination relies on quiet introspection rather than visual spectacle. At the very top, turn around to look back down the entire access you just climbed. From here, the retreating archways act as frames, aligning the various domes from different eras onto a single, deeply layered visual plane. It is a unique visual result. 800 years of competing egos and clashing architectural styles have somehow resolved into a perfectly ordered avenue. Shah-e-Zinda serves as physical proof that a single belief can act as an anchor, drawing centuries of vanity and craftsmanship into one cohesive pathway.